today you'll be receiving from a message full of God's power to help you become everything that God has created you to be. You know, God sent his son, Jesus, to die for you to have a life of abundance and for you to be an ambassador for him. What does that mean? That your life should represent his goodness. It's time to be about it. Tune in today's message and you'll be blessed.
I'm going to start with 1 Kings chapter 19, and I'm going to start with verse 1 here. Kind of move through this so I get through this entire message. I'll see I got 2 pages up here. Pray for me. Pray for a sister. Pray for yourself that you're not here all night. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to keep you here all night. 1 Kings chapter 19. Verse 1 says, "And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword." So here they talking about all the stuff that Elijah had done. "Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them by tomorrow." About this time, what's she saying? She's saying, oh, you killed all those prophets of Baal? Okay, well, I'm going to kill you just like you killed them, and you'll be dead by tomorrow. This woman is a trip. You know, it's one thing to put a threat out there. It's another thing to put a timeline on it. Verse 3, "And when he saw that, he arose and he ran for his life." He went for his life. "And he came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a juniper tree, and he requested for himself that he might die. And then he said, It's enough. Now, O Lord, just kill me, for I'm not better than my fathers. And as he lay and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, Arise and eat. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baking on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink, and laid him down again. Then the angel of the Lord came again the second time. Don't y'all just love God? This dude is whining. And here God is still meeting his need. Came a second time and touched him and said, Arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. Interesting. And he arose and did eat and drink, and he went in the strength of the meat 40 days and 40 nights into Horeb, the mount of God. Now, this evening, what I want to talk to you about, I got this message in my spirit probably 2 weeks ago, and I just kept hearing this word pendulum, pendulum, pendulum. And I'm like, I know what a pendulum is, but I was kind of like, Lord, that's the title of my message, pendulum. And he said this to me. He said, I want you to teach my people how to get off a pendulum. Now, if you know anything about a pendulum, TV, if you'll show them, pendulum basically is an item that swings back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that's what we see here with Elijah. If you were to back up 2 chapters, I'm not going to do it for sake of time because I definitely want to get through this. And you get into 1 Kings chapter 17, you'll see that Elijah was facing trouble, where the land was in a famine, and the Lord sent him to a widow woman to eat. And not only did he eat, he was also present in that widow woman's house for the Lord to use him to perform a miracle in this woman's house, where God multiplied the food supernaturally and the drink supernaturally, because that woman was going to die. So God used him, sent him there, and not only took care of her, but also took care of Elijah. And then, of course, what Satan does is he comes through and like, oh, okay, so y'all think y'all got a miracle. So then he try and take out the son. But yet Elijah is still God's man of power. God uses him to raise that kid from the dead. Then if you look at the chapter before this one, where we started, and you look into 1 Kings chapter 18, you'll see that, again, they're in a famine. And the Lord had given a word to Elijah to talk to Jezebel, that chick that was like, oh, you got a deadline. You got a deadline. I'm killing you. And to put the word of the Lord out there when it wasn't looking good, saying it's about to be abundance of rain. They get to a place where Elijah, and this is the thing I love about God. In fact, let me not get too fast here. Jump back to 1 Kings chapter 18. Elijah gets to the place where, verse 17, it says, and it came to pass, Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, aren't you the one that troubles Israel? And Elijah said, I haven't troubled Israel, but you have, you and your fathers. You have forsaken the commandments of the Lord, and thou hast followed Balaam. Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. And Elijah sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people, and he said, how long do you halt between two opinions? How long you gonna stay on this pendulum? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not. Now, I think what's really interesting and really notable here in 1 Kings chapter 18 is that the Lord had given Elijah a word to give to Ahab to say that it was going to rain. But I want to point this out because I think it's very important that we understand that we serve a good God, we serve a mighty God, but we serve a firm God as well. He's not afraid. He's not running. So many of us are running and hiding in fear, but God is not. Notice that Elijah could have just said, it's going to start raining. Y'all see it when, you look out your window or whatever, you'll know that was God. But no, he said, go get all of your prophets of Baal and take them from Jezebel's table, that chick that's been killing everybody. Take them from her table, bring him. If you keep reading, he goes there and he challenges them. The God that answers by fire, let them be God, and we'll see whose God is God. Long story short, God answers by fire and, of course, licks up. Now, this is a miracle because, when Elijah set up his altar to ask God to answer by fire, he doused it with water or seed. And if you know anything about wood, if it's wet, that makes it harder to catch fire. So God came in there and he lit that thing up and it's like, man, then Elijah killed all those prophets, got them all killed. So everybody over here, he done got them killed, showed them up, making fun of their God. Where's your God? Is he on vacation? He in Miami on spring break. This is a mighty God. This is right after, these miracles of keeping you fed, and this is right after you raising somebody from the dead, and here you are, this man of bold faith and power, like bring everybody, not just the prophets. I want everybody to see. I mean, that's risky. We know what was going to happen because we're reading it, but he didn't. So here he is up here. Then after that, the God answers by fire. Then he's like, hey, look, I hear the sound of abundance of rain, abundance of rain, abundance of rain. So he tells them to go up there and look. And they go up there and they're like, I don't see nothing. He's like, but there's an abundance of rain. But I don't see nothing. He said, go 7 times. And then even when they saw it, it was real tiny. I want you to notice something about God. God is not into trying to satisfy your senses and what you think you need to hear, what you think you need to see to believe him. He's not.
I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I want to invite you to subscribe as well as visit our website at michelleferguson.org. We have some materials there that can help you as you walk through life, live the life that God created for you. As always, I'm Michelle Ferguson, helping you to discover, develop, and celebrate who God has created you to be. See you next time.